if you're in a job and you're working and you look up and you're like, oh, it's already 2 o'clock. I feel like it's 10:30 in the morning, right? It's like, you're probably doing something right because you just got lost in time.
Right.
And that's because you're so consumed with your work
Right.
that you are actually doing work,
Right.
right? As opposed to,
Yes.
oh man, I got 3 more hours on the clock. Like if that's how you feel, you probably should get out of that position. Now, maybe
Right.
not now, right? You got to start somewhere. Don't quit, right? But find something else, seek another venture, seek another opportunity, put yourself out there and get out of that because you can't just be an hourly wage earner, right?
Right. Yes, but right.
Forever. At some point you will be, right? But
If you're complaining about it, then I think you made a great point. Like if you love it and you enjoy what you do and you don't even do it almost because of the pay, you just love what you do, then that's great. But if you are saying I love it but or I don't love it, or you just complain about it. See, I think that's the thing. Like if you complain about it, you should do something about it.
sometimes I bitch just to get through the day, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is
Like I
true.
complain, and
Well, I think it's different kinds and I think there's a time and place, right? Because if I sit here and I kind of vent to myself or vent to my husband or vent to my mom, maybe people that I feel comfortable with versus just venting at somebody that just doesn't really care at the line and I'm
yeah,
holding up the line, but I really want to share, how I feel. I think
right.
there's kind of like a
Time
time
and
and
a
place and, who, can depending on, what it is or how bad you want to vent. I think it is important and I think it's just it's a human thing. Like I mean, it's just we're gonna vent,
yeah.
I mean,
And it's important too, I think, is to if you have somebody you always vent to every once in a while call them and just say, "How are you
oh,
doing?" Right?
yeah,
Because you call them you all the time, they don't want to hear it. Like, stop calling me,
right.
right? Just call me and
Yes.
make a joke and ask me how I'm doing. You know?
Agreed. Yes. 100%. Well, that's the thing, right? Like it kind of all goes in a circle because if you're complaining and constantly, especially if it's the same thing, right? Like especially if it's like
Yeah.
the same job you've been at for whatever, however many years, but you're not doing anything about it, then that's when that can be like, okay, here she comes again.
Yeah.
It's just a CD playing over and over. But that's a whole cycle thing, right? So like if you start complaining about something, and especially if it's like not the first time or second or third, then it might be like, hey, trying to get your attention, like we need to change something. Um,
And that's it. Like we need to change something,
something.
right? If you're depressed, there's a reason for that, right?
Right.
It's not that you should be happy all the time, right?
Right.
If there's something that's bothering you, you need to find out what it is, right? And
Right.
instead of seeking some sort of cover up
Mhm.
to that, because that's only temporary, right? So I see that a lot too, is like, hey, I'm depressed, I need this, or hey, I do this. It's like, well, that's something your body's telling you something, whether it's your psyche or you're not achieving what you could be achieving, you're not giving your best effort, right?
Mhm.
That's something people beat themselves up because they know they could try harder and do more. And then that maybe they don't even recognize that as part of the depression,
Right.
right?